Good morning, everybody. Craig Sewing here from Hawaii. Quite gorgeous. A little bit different video than what you're used to seeing from me on social media, because a lot of what we put out there is stuff we do professionally with Ignite Media and our TV shows. And as hard as we work on that stuff, it's important, I think anybody should know about me, that I work as hard, if not harder, on personal growth as well. And the reason I wanted to create this video is just to share with you the experience that I'm having while I'm in Hawaii. Certainly not trying to brag that I'm here, but I did come out here to go to a retreat, specifically a meditation retreat. A gentleman from India flew 35 hours to host this thing. It was recommended by some of the biggest name speakers that travel the world, names you'd be very familiar with. And everything in me didn't want to do it, right? I didn't want to go to Hawaii by myself, join this event, be stuck for a few days. Not that this is terrible, but the event itself. And I kind of tend to do things that I don't want to do, and they tend to be the best things for me. And I wanted to create this video to share that message because I think it's so important for everyone. And maybe I can touch one life, 10 lives, however many lives with this message. Just one is enough. Actually, 0 is fine. This is therapeutic for me as I sit here and watch those birds and the clouds roll over that mountain, that lily pad out in the middle of the ocean. But doing things that make you uncomfortable are the best ways to grow. This video makes me uncomfortable. Why? Because, I'm probably bedhead. Someone could judge me. I'm in Hawaii alone, right? So people probably would attribute that to being lonely. And there's a very big difference between being alone and being lonely. I spent a lot of my life with a lot of people. To take time and unplug and be by yourself is actually a very healthy thing, and I think people avoid doing that, and they shouldn't. There is a very big difference between being alone and being lonely. Really, so much time people spend on planning a vacation or working out to get physically fit, but they don't spend time working on up here. Another thing with me is when I talk about doing things that are uncomfortable to grow. Many people want to know that I'm actually, on paper, an introvert. So it's probably fascinating to you that I host a TV show and speak for a living. It's because that is what I didn't want to do. That's what I was fearful of. And when you are willing to challenge those fears, you just open up a whole new way of thinking and a whole new way to grow. And eventually you get a little bit better at it. So I wanted to share a story real quick of this 3-day retreat that I'm on. So I get here and it's at the Queen Kapolani Hotel in Honolulu. And I get to this event on Friday and I sit down and there's about 40 people there. And this small, probably 5'5" man from India who's well known there as a philosopher has flown 35 hours to put on this course. And we have to sit there like this, actually, Indian style. And he begins to speak and philosophize, if that's even a word. And I am so incredibly uncomfortable at this thing. It is going through my head that I'm going to walk out and leave and either enjoy some time in Hawaii or head back to San Diego, honestly. And I stayed. And one of the first things we did is we had to partner up. And there's 40-something people in the room. You have to grab a partner because you're about to do some weird stuff, meditation-wise. So I'm about as uncomfortable as you can imagine. I don't pick anyone. I'm that guy. I'm the guy who didn't get picked to go on the team kind of thing. I'm the last person without a partner. And I'm sitting there, already in my own head, like I think a lot of people would be. And this gal comes up to me, and she says, "Hey, I'll be your partner." She's probably, I'm guessing, 65 to 70 years old. Beautiful, by the way. Dressed almost like gypsy-ish. I'd say probably 70 years old. And I have to sit and face her and do what would be considered the most awkward of human interactions. And so I'm about as uncomfortable as you can possibly imagine. Now, she has gotten back from 5 months of travel. She's been doing this. She's been to India. What else did she say? Croatia. I mean, all over the world. Like, so she is in her element. I am out of my element. So here I'm thinking, wow, how out of place am I? How much do I not belong to be here? Even though I know this could be good for me, I want to leave. And I don't. And I proceed to develop this amazing relationship with this woman. And throughout the weekend, I've gotten to know her. And I had made a judgment of her that she's just some kind of odd gypsy lady. And shame on me. I end up learning that she is uber successful. She has founded a retail outlet that if you're a woman and you're watching this, you have worn her clothes. She's formed 300 stores across the world. It went public. Wildly successful this woman is. And she does this to continue to grow at age 70. Wildly successful. You would never even have a clue. This woman is a multi-gazillionaire, and she's there still trying to grow. I want to advance this story a little bit more. So the weekend proceeds, and this is yesterday, and we get paired up again. And one of the things we have to do is we have to basically talk about a personal challenge that we have. I went first. I shared it with her. I don't think I'll share it here today. But we all have our challenges. And a lot of times people try and they push those things down. They try and stomach them, or they don't share them, or they try and drink them away or drug them away. You got to bring that stuff out. You got to get your conscious mind in power of your subconscious mind. We all face issues. So I felt pretty great with mine. But anyway, chatting with her, she proceeds to tell me this story about her kids being addicts, her ex-husband just sounding like the world's biggest jerk, her ex-business partner ripping her off, and the fact that she has panic attacks every day. And she struggles. And it really broke my heart. And I sat there with her and I held her hands. By the way, the story is even deeper and darker than that. I said, here you sit in Hawaii. It's 70 years old, I'm guessing. Super successful. You mentioned to me your daughter works with you, which is something many people can't say. You're in paradise. You developed a new friendship with me, all these new people. You're financially set. You sound like you have a really nice relationship with the higher power. I think you should be so proud of yourself for everything that you are. And you spend so much time with all the negative thoughts. You're not giving yourself enough credit for all the things that you do right and that you've done right. And this woman began to cry, and she had to get up and leave, and she came back, and she expressed to me that That in itself made her trip. I think her words were, "You just lifted 1,000,000 pounds off of me." And obviously there's more details of the story than that. The reason I share it, and the reason I share this long-winded video that maybe people are tuned in still, maybe not, is this idea that people fear growth. And they fear growth because they don't want to admit things to themselves. And by they, I mean me, everybody. We let fear keep us from doing the things we know are good for us because we choose to push those things down rather than bring them out. Or we don't, for me, take this trip because it's going to be a little uncomfortable, sitting in a room with people that I don't know. There's two states that you can be in. You can be in a state of suffering or a beautiful state. There's really one or the other. Suffering is stress, anxiety, fear, doubt, confusion, pain. A beautiful state is happy, joy, in the moment, present, love. You get to choose which you're in. And not only do you get to choose kind of holistically, you get to choose right now, what moment you're in. And so I choose to be in a beautiful state. And I choose to start my day this way every single day and set my intentions. I don't dive into my phone, check Facebook, email, texts. I don't let somebody else's energy, which could be negative, start my day. I start my day every day like this. And I set my intentions. And even though I'm alone, I'm not lonely. We all have that challenge, but I really recommend you do things like this, whether it's attend a retreat, meditate, pray, jog, kickbox, workout, whatever. Setting the tone for your day. God has blessed us. Every day we get to start new. Every single day we get to start new. A lot to appreciate. I wanted to share that story with you, whether it's affected anyone's life or nobody's. I enjoyed doing it. So I just wanted to say hello, aloha from Hawaii. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for your friendship. It's been a great weekend for me. I hope this story touched someone's life besides my own, because it's been a very moving weekend. And I will see you back on the mainland Monday. Cheers.